Hey viewers, welcome to my channel. As spring has arrived, yet another growing season has started for orchids. Temperatures are increasing. Actually, it's already very hot during the day. Climate has changed drastically over the last few years all over the world. This is definitely going to affect the orchids as well. It's going to affect their growth period, their growing habits, their blooming season and blooming periods. There may be shifts. We will discuss about all those things. At the onset of winter last November, we had applied bloom booster to the Phalaenopsis orchids, as you have seen in my previous video. After 2 weeks, spikes had started emerging. The duration is quite a long time for the Phalaenopsis spikes to fully mature and the blooms to open up. During entire winter, the spikes grow very slowly, and now when the temperatures have risen, the blooms are opening, as you can see. Today we shall discuss basic care routine for Phalaenopsis orchids, what adaptations we need to make according to the climatic changes that is happening all around the world. Okay, so let's start. Phalaenopsis orchids need medium quantity of light, not very bright nor very low. Keep them safe from the afternoon sun. Morning direct sun is beneficial and can be allowed till the temperature is warm. Then comes water. The water requirement for Phalaenopsis is somewhere between the Vandas and the Cattleyas, if you want to compare. They cannot stand in water for long period of time, since water seeps up the crown and can cause crown rot and kill the Phalaenopsis orchid. I have discussed about crown rot in one of my previous videos. Please do check it out. Next comes humidity. Phalaenopsis orchids do well in a humidity of say 70 to 80%, although they can tolerate humidity outside this range as well. But prolonged duration of low or extreme high humidity may affect its growth and also its blooms. Fertilize your hybrid orchids and during the growing period and also during the blooming period as well. Species Phalaenopsis orchids do not need fertilizer and they follow the natural cycle of growth and bloom and do not require any fertilizer. Pot your Phalaenopsis orchids in a mixture of bark and sphagnum moss. They need air around the roots for proper air circulation so that water doesn't get stayed for prolonged period of time near the roots. Evaporation of water is very essential from Phalaenopsis roots, otherwise it can cause root rot and subsequently crown rot. So we need to avoid that because it ultimately may kill the Phalaenopsis orchid. So we need to take care of that, and hence we should use coarse potting media for Phalaenopsis orchids like bark pieces, charcoal pieces, broken pot pieces, earthen pot pieces, brick pieces. All these are very coarse media which will allow air circulation around the roots of the Phalaenopsis orchid. Phalaenopsis orchids generally bloom in late winter to early spring season. They put out the spikes in late winter, although primary hybrids do bloom in the spring season. Early winter they put out the spikes, and throughout the winter the spikes keep on growing, and when temperature starts rising up, the blooms start to open. Most of the Phalaenopsis orchids bloom in early spring, as you have seen at the starting of this video. The most important factor for Phalaenopsis orchids to bloom is the difference in day and night temperatures, and also the low temperature, the night temperature should dip at least to 17 degrees Celsius according to my experience. And year after year, the Phalaenopsis orchids in my collection have been blooming in this way. The temperature should dip at least to 17 degrees Celsius, and then the spikes are triggered. The difference between day and night temperature should be at least 10 degrees Celsius. Even only 10 degrees Celsius difference is not enough. as you will see in your care, because during daytime, during warmer months also, there happens some days have the difference of day and night temperatures about 10 degrees. But if the low temperature night temperature doesn't dip to 17 degrees Celsius, Phalaenopsis will not bloom. Although nurseries have their own techniques, their own setups to bloom Phalaenopsis orchids all year round, they have that setup. But at home we cannot have that setup, and we do not need to do that setup, because during the growing months, which is the natural cycle of the Phalaenopsis orchids, we need to allow them to grow new leaves, so that there are places, there are joint of the leaves should increase, so that they bloom year after year. They have that space to grow new spikes, and once your Phalaenopsis orchid is mature enough, they have several places to put out spikes, or otherwise you will have very less blooms if you do not allow their growth period, normal growth period. So I will suggest that allow the Phalaenopsis orchids to follow the natural cycle, grow in the summer months and put out the spikes in the winter months. The spikes will grow in the winter months, and if they follow the natural cycle, they will give you lush blooms and more number of blooms year after year. Due to climate change, rainfall has decreased in many parts of the world. Many places are experiencing drought-like conditions. Water crisis is happening all over the world, and those of us who rely partly on rainfall for watering orchids need to increase the frequency of watering, as high temperature during summer will dry out the Phalaenopsis faster. We need to keep checking the media, and if it is crispy dry, we need to give a thorough drenching of the Phalaenopsis orchids. You can see the leaves had really drooled up, they were very leathery, and after I water them, they will become nice and plump, and they will become stiff. So here I have used a humidity tray. Humidity tray is very easy to make. You can take any dish, a bit of shallow dish, and place some pebbles on it, and then add water, and on this tray, on the humidity tray, you place your Phalaenopsis orchids together with the pot. No need to unpot them, just place it on the humidity tray and ensure that the roots are not touching the water. So that's why we add the pebbles, so that there is a gap between the water and the roots of the Phalaenopsis orchids. Keep this setup till the leaves become plump and stiff, and within 2 or 3 days you will see that the leaves will really plump up. They will take water, and the humidity that comes from the water that will evaporate from the dish will make the leaves plump and stiff. Experts all around the world are predicting higher temperatures this year. High temperatures can cause shift in the blooming period of our orchids. It may cause bud blast, which is basically a condition when buds fall before blooming, even before growing. It may also make the orchid abstain from blooming totally. That is, it will prevent the orchid from blooming totally. So when the orchids are in spike, when you see new spikes, new buds are forming, water them regularly. Water will keep the orchid hydrated and will provide the necessary nutrients to the growing buds, because even buds are growing, they also need food. So keep them watered regularly whenever you see the media is dry. So it will help the orchid survive the buds, and it will bloom nicely to the proper size of the blooms that it should be. With less rainfall, humidity level goes down and can dry up the Phalaenopsis orchid faster. They need sufficient humidity, or else leaves, roots may become lumpy, leathery due to loss of water from different parts like the leaves, the roots and the crown as well. When there is a continuous dry spell, that is, there is no water, and you forget or you do not have time to water it, place a humidity tray as I have shown you before. It's very easy to make. You can place the humidity tray below the orchid, so it will provide the necessary humidity to the orchid. Together with necessary humidity, you should also maintain a continuous proper airflow around the orchids, because as I have already said in all my previous videos, proper air circulation is very essential for orchids to dissipate the heat that may accumulate due to the dry weather, due to high temperatures. So constant airflow is very essential. Place your orchids in such area where there is enough air circulation. So that is all for today in this video. Hope you liked it. Hope you got some useful care tips for your Phalaenopsis orchids from this video. Please give it a like and do subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. Thank you for ending up till the end of the video. I'll try to bring a request video on dendrobium seedlings, which was requested by one of my viewers. Until then, keep watching my videos on my channel. There are many other useful videos which will be useful for you. Please leave your comments in the comment section, whether you like this video, you dislike this video, any suggestions, any improvements, all are very welcome. And until my next video, keep good care of your orchids. Bye bye.